You're Near the Wild with Matt Becker and John Norris, recorded in Anchorage, Alaska.
All right, welcome to another episode of Near the Wild. I'm Matt Becker.
I'm John Norris.
And we have a special guest.
What's up, everybody? John Tole here. I love that intro. That was really good. You kind of left it open. I felt like you were going to throw my name in, and you said, fuck it. Do it on your own.
Oh, yeah.
No, you got to pull your weight around here.
Yeah.
Trust me. All I do is heavy lifting. That's all.
I usually have people who say my name for me. Wow.
Well, you know, look, most of the best shows that I've ever been on, I always like to bring my own gear for somebody else's podcast. So I'm really excited.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we're really excited about you doing it, too. Little Chaille.
I had a system of like 4 cell phones we were going to get recorded and really mix this thing up. But,
Sure, why not?
You were prepared. You had a backpack.
Well, yeah, look, have backpack, we'll travel. That's all I need. I can live on the road out of, I can do 2 weeks out of this backpack and not need anything. That's where I'm at.
No, that's great.
It's minimal. It's just living minimal.
One step ahead of the cops.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, I got no reason for the cops to think that I'm doing anything wrong. I mean, come on. Well, there's that. That's why you have it and I don't. Let's see.
So just for the record, he gives me a scarf the other night at the bar. He goes, "Hey, I got this for you. I think you'll like it. It says, 'All cops are bastards.'" It's this great scarf until you drop it. And a cop goes, "Hey, you dropped this."
Now you're being choked out with it. My buddies who run a Wartime Collective have that, and they run the all cops are bastards thing.
That's great.
It's I think that's the best form of civil disobedience.
Is that Austin?
No, that's a LA thing. I think.
Oh, LA? Okay.
Yeah, totally.
Cool.
So
You and I had was one of the original LA Corners jackets. Do you remember when that story hit? So the LA Corners jacket, a friend gets it for me. He goes, "I got this for you." And they were selling them for youth awareness to fight street gangs back in the heart of the dead bodies everywhere in
Ricky
LA.
Williams.
Yeah.
He's a gangster.
Yeah. Name dropper. But yeah. But the thing is so I get it. Well, they had to recall it. They were like, "What are you doing?" They were selling with the actual logo, and they had people wandering on the crime scenes, and the cops were letting them in. They're like, "Hey, is that a dead body?" And they got suspicious when they saw a guy taking a picture of a dead body with a disposable camera, which is ironic.
Oh, he had the jacket. He had some chalk. I thought he was legit.
Yeah, that's it. He's got the jacket.
sadder than that, 6 years later, some poor kid sitting in kindergarten answering the roll call. "My name's Forensic." Where would you wear that, though?
Well, see, I used to wear it when I go to restaurants and stuff. And then it's like, we're just doing a follow-up. No big deal. And you can always get a table. My God, we got to get out of here. So, welcome to Alaska. How you liking Alaska?
It's absolutely exactly what it's supposed to be.
How many times have you been here before?
This is my second time coming here to Koot's, and this time was definitely better than the first time. I think I was a little more comfortable, I guess, this time.
You knew to expect.
Yes,
Nothing.
I know that the audiences are going to be the kind of level of party that I want to have them at, and so as long as they don't kill me with booze during the show, then I've made it.
Right.
You
Which
know?
is, that's actually a theme up here.
It was touch and go for a little while there.
The first show, you know, you build 25 minutes to hit one punchline at the end, and you go for that club in your bag, and it's just bendable and slurring, and you're like, well, this isn't going to work out. Just dismount.
I was in the back of the room watching, and he's going, da-da-da-da, go, here it comes. And he went, ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. I was like, hey, Mel Tillis, you might want to go with a different closer.
Then I had to reset.
Yeah.
Then I had to reset and then do it again. But you know what? I was able to land the plane. So
Yeah.
At that point, the crowd, they were just counting your shots, though. They'd forgotten about the story.
Right.
Like,
You were more of a liquid abacus to them.
I mean, they erupted when you walked off the stage on your own power. They erupted.
They were like, this guy's amazing.
Good
And
stuff.
they have
He's
different
a pro.
standards.
They're used to seeing us locals just passing out on stage. Like, this guy knows what he's doing.
I've never passed out on stage. That's not something.
No.
Have you never seen it?
No.
I've never witnessed. Been witness to
Still have one more
anybody
night.
at the.
You have one more
Yeah,
night
but
at
come on.
Coots.
But it's tonight. Any open mic is all I really care about in comedy. That's my ground zero of what it really is fun. And I love watching train wrecks.
Right.
Train wreck after another. There's something about the fun of watching failure in real time.
No, that's
and then just enjoying it.
and that's the thing is that people will go up and they have all the honesty in their face,
right?
That this is going to be great, and then you watch as it worked. They thought it was good,
sure,
And then you watch as it slowly falls apart when their premise doesn't work.
Yeah.
And then their punchline's coming to something they already didn't like.
Right.
And they go, yeah, I think that's rude about your grandmother fist fucking her. That was wrong. My grandmother just died. This isn't funny. And then they hate you the rest of your time. So that's my favorite. We only get 3 minutes? Yeah, I think you can stink up the room in 3 minutes.
I did a joke for a couple of weeks about the woman who fell off the roller coaster in Arlington, Texas, and then 2 weeks later found myself in Providence, Rhode Island, and telling the joke in front of her family members who just happened to be in Providence, Rhode Island at that time, and walked a table of 8. 7 minutes into my set.
Wow.
And then had the guy who had the hit. Then they all stayed in the car, and then I went outside, and then the guy made the beeline to me, and he goes, "That was one of my family members, and you that's the reason we left, and you should really think twice about what you say." And I said, what are the odds that you'd be sitting here right now?
Right.
The universe is amazing.
Right. I mean, it's kind of like I would have looked at him and said, it's kind of like a roller coaster. Except you're alive. Yeah.
Ups and downs. Sometimes you fly out. What can you do? That's the universe.
Yeah, I did a joke when we first came up here. It was right when the Mary Letourneau thing. That was the first teacher fucking a kid.
Sure.
And that had just happened. And I was up here, and we were doing a show, and I did the joke, like everyone knew. But it was the week after, so I'll give it that credit. But I went, if you're losing your wife to an 8-year-old, I got a feeling you've got a tiny dick. The husband was at the show because his brother lived up here, and he was at the show. I know. And I didn't know that. He was at the show. He's just going, I want to put this behind me. I'm so grateful to be in a different city. He walks in, and some guy goes, yeah, you're the guy who's my fucking kid. And so.
That was like a comedy show to cleanse the old mind from all my problems.
But yeah, I mean, nobody got hurt in mine.
No. Right.
I have a line I draw.
Yeah, no, there you go. Well, you can find that's the high road.
Hey, how about that? What do 9 out of 10 people in India enjoy? Gang rape. Oh, shit. She's here? Are you fucking kidding me? How'd she get in the front?
Right.
Think she'd want to be in the back.
We had the open mic last year where we had the woman inside of the front bar who was picking up on every single man that was inside of the front bar.
Oh, yeah.
And so we gave them every comic had the project where they had to then go out and have an interaction with this woman and figure out what she was. And people were coming back. One guy, oh, she's a pilot. Oh, no, she's a dancer.
Oh,
one guy said she had a bald vagina, and the next guy said she was hairy, and the next guy came back eating pizza because she had bought it.
Oh.
She was a nut.
Well, no, but that's not really. I mean, when you first said you have to guess what she is, I go, a woman? Yeah. I didn't know you were
too hot.
Yeah, I didn't know you were going to occupation.
Yeah. I was convinced because the first time you see somebody act like that, you're like, well, that's just got to be the dude. That's got to be a dude, right? That's just being out in the open.
She was like aggressively hitting on the comics, which has never happened in the history of comedy.
Which makes it, why is this happening?
Yeah.
Which is why I had to get in there and figure out, I have to be able to get something from this experience. Like, get my dick touched or something. Right. You know what I mean?
Right. You were the only guy who didn't come back.
Right. I came back twice. I ended up, the thing is that she was like, she was asking for everybody's phone number. Mm-hmm. I think that's what it was about. It was the most slutty phone number scam.
You think she worked for a telemarketing thing?
That's all she is. Yeah, that's it. She's just doing all her bonus work on the first day.
All of a sudden, you get a Costco credit card in the mail. You're like, what? Who
is this?
When did I sign up for this?
I haven't had a mailing address in 5 years. I don't know what it's like to get mail.
Wow, or magazines apparently.
I don't. I think that's all bad news.
So how long did it take you to hop the boxcar and get up here to Alaska?
It wasn't.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't you actually have to have a mailing address to get on a plane now?
Somebody has a mailing address.
Oh, so you're just making that up?
You're
doing like that whole. I live on Elm. What? 1825 Elm.
124 Fake Street. I think that's.
You understand? All you need is one address. Validates the next address that's hooked to that one, and that address validates the third one that does not connected to the first. So then everybody, there's 10 people that think I live in 10 different places.
You're playing a risky game. Somebody out there,
there's no one
somebody's getting stacks and stacks of Capital One credit card offers in your name.
Well, Doug Stanhope used to have the hotel. He got I think his driver's license in New Mexico because he wanted to get cheap insurance in New Mexico instead of LA. And he had the hotel, like the Holiday Inn, as his address. And then we went to renew his thing, his driver's license to get a new driver's license so he could keep his insurance in New Mexico. Yeah. So then he goes, "What's your address?" He goes, "Oh, fuck." She goes, "You don't know your address?" He goes, "What's the Holiday Inn?" Thank God it didn't close. You're a Burger King?
Yeah. Right? That's the best.
Yeah.
Hey, and you know a 7-story Burger King that you can sleep at? That's exactly the kind of food experience that I want to have.
That is the one thing, like in New York and bigger cities where they live above like the pizza place or something.
Right.
I don't even know how you'd do that. If every day smelled like pizza.
There's one.
I mean, it does. I already.
Yeah.
So the big pizza chain here is Sicily's, and there's one Sicily's on Spinard that has an apartment above where the delivery. It's like, I think it's mostly delivery, but I had a friend that lived there, and he always fucking smelled like pizza, and he said his rent was cheap because they are 24 hours a day making pizzas.
Sure.
Yeah.
And so he just was sweating pepperoni juice all the time, but he loved it.
Now think about that, because that's one thing you would have going for you that not anyone else in the world has going for you. And you find that one woman who just represents the world through her olfactory senses.
You want to come smell my apartment?
Yeah, and that's it. And then that's it. She smells you coming a mile away.
Right, she's coming over every night. And you're like, "She digs me, dude." And she goes, and you go, "Well, I got to work tomorrow." And she goes, "Well, can I just go over and hang out at your place?" You don't like me at all, do you?
No, she's face down on the wood floors.
I'm just gonna lay here next to this vent.
But, you know, if you rent it to somebody because of cheap rent with that kind of situation, it could backfire. Because you go to a pizza place, you go, "This smells horrible." And they go, "Yeah, it's the guy upstairs." He's taking the place up bad.
I could live above a business. I think that's something that it would absolutely could pull off. Like, has anyone ever tried to live at Koot's?
No, you're not actually allowed.
You're not allowed.
Yeah,
okay, so that means that rule exists because
I said in the early days they had apartments or something that they were thinking, but they never did. They own almost all the houses around Koot's.
Right.
So yeah,
totally.
You can't stay there, but you can stay there. Remember, you can't sleep here, but you can sleep there.
Sure, there's a lot of nooks and crannies that you could probably just crawl in somewhere and nobody would find you for a few days.
Is it haunted?
Is it haunted?
It's got to be haunted.
No, it's not haunted.
See, that's the thing. I'm saying, well, of course, why wouldn't it be? You're saying it's got to be.
You know what? You get those places that they do that, but no. After all the years I've spent there and
all the late nights,
different hours,
the whole thing.
Yeah, no case of that at all.
All right.
It is addictive, but it's not haunted.
Okay. It's okay. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you sure there's not just like well-behaved ghosts?
I see. Now I think you're missing the whole clientele thing. Yeah. Yeah, it was built on a well-behaved cemetery.
But isn't the state just one big Indian burial ground, really?
Isn't that America?
What are you bringing that up for, dude? Dude, that's the green belt. That's where we ride our bikes. Coachies. Boom, boom. What was that? Yeah, no, that's always the weird thing when they stop construction jobs. They go, "Oh, we found Indian bones." And they're like, "How do you know?" And they go, "All the pipes." The same reason you can't build homeless shelters now. Too many pipes.
Too many pipes. You know, and they say they're going to move the graves, but they never do. We know that.
No,
So,
I know.
I saw that movie.
Oh, how about in Belize? The one a while back when Belize, where they were doing road work, and the contractor went and tore up one of the ancient ruins in Belize, like the whatever they are, the Aztecs.
Yeah.
They went. This is how unregulated Belize has become. They were tearing up the whole pyramid thing for the 1500s or whatever, ripping up the monuments and grinding them up to use for gravel on the road. And they finally stopped them halfway through and they had pictures. I'm like going, "Oh my God, that's horrendous." I mean, it was amazing. Because I'm like, what? It was cheap.
They just thought it was a good idea. It's like
didn't a contractor ruin one of the Nazca lines that I had read that a guy was like doing a logging thing in one of those big pictures that you can fly over and see there in Peru? Isn't that where that is?
Yeah.
The one guy had screwed up one of those shapes that you can see.
Yeah.
That's it. That's why I know we've been here before and we've had the ability to fly before this time around.
Oh, I know, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Why else would you have that?
No,
and
and
that's...
that's... I mean? No, and there's a lot of
high enough to figure that out.
Listen, there's a lot of stuff like that where you go, okay,
right?
I get it. I mean, I found old what appear to be concert tickets in Death Valley. So I'm thinking.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you can't read what it is, but yeah, something was going on before we were here.
Sure.
And the thing is, we're so self-indulged. We're like, oh, you don't understand. I go, I get it.
But Men at Work or Rolling Stones?
Again, you don't want to really put a face or name on it because,
You should.
they're probably still copyrighted. But you can listen to it free on Spotify.
Hell of a show.
How do musicians make any money on Spotify now? Or on any of it?
Well, I don't think musicians are making money at all on their music. I think they're making money on playing live.
I think eventually the DJs will just go quiet because nobody will make music again. And they'll just be like, I'm hitting play, but nothing happening.
Isn't it? No, they said there was a guy who was making money on Spotify because he recorded a blank album.
No, he did that. That made news. But what he did was he said, instead of buying my concert ticket, listen to Spotify and then you go to the show. Let it play all night long.
Okay.
Because for every, 3,000 plays I get.
20 cents or something.
Yeah, or whatever. But he had something and, he got the coverage he wanted with it, but it was typical.
All right.
And, I heard his music. I liked the silent stuff better, actually. I was like, dude, you win. I like your first album.
Musicians only make money now when a new Ford Focus comes out and they use their song in the commercial. That's how you get ahead.
It is. And I mean, I just, that's really for me. I just look, because here's the deal. So I'm down in Costa Rica. I got Wi-Fi down there and Beck comes out. So I have Apple Radio you can get down there and I can get Spotify, but I can't get Pandora because they don't have a license agreement.
Oh.
So I go, okay. So I'm listening to Apple Radio, which is horrible, by the way. It's as good as the maps. And you can't hear nothing. You can't go nowhere.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm playing it, and it says Beck's new album's out. Well, I'm painting in the house, and I'm going, it's late night. I go, I'll listen to Beck's new album. So it plays automatically. They go, it's coming up next. I go ahead, do it. So I listen to his whole album. Well, I have a program on my thing that will rip music from like Spotify or something.
Nice.
And when I went to switch to Spotify because I'd listened to Beck's album, and literally halfway through it, it goes, hey, do you want to listen to Beck's new album? And I'm like, I guess I'm painting. I go, fuck it, I'll just listen to it again. I didn't really care for it.
Oh.
I mean, I like it. I know it took him 11 years to put another one out. Whatever. I love him as a musician, but it was just kind of slow and it wasn't for me. I get done listening to it the second time. It came out that day. Twice they gave me the album for free. My program accent was on and it ripped the music and put it in my iTunes. I now own an album I didn't want that took 11 years to make and I didn't pay anything. I've heard it twice. I don't want it. I'm deleting it because I feel guilty. But that's my point.
That's how easy it is to steal music. You accidentally stole an album you didn't want.
That's what I'm telling you. I woke up and I had his new album.
I will not go on one of those pirate sites and download stuff, but I will run my Audacity program and record an album on YouTube as it plays in real time.
Well, then it feels like you earned it.
I feel like I'm part of the recording process. You know what I mean? Like that's an actual thing.
That's like
then I name the tracks what I want to name it.
That's equivalent of going to the concert with a recorder and just holding it up the whole time.
Yeah.
Like a John Hughes movie, right?
It's like his own wall of sound. He invented this. Yeah.
I like the way that marriage ends.
Worst game of Russian roulette ever.
Was Robert Blake there?
I know. Isn't that funny?
I'm always fascinated by guys who get to that certain level and then like their murderous stuff. Like have they been holding off? Is that why they were so talented? Because they were just harnessing the murder inside.
No, I think
what becomes.
I think very talented people aren't necessarily murderers. I think what happens is when you get to that point where he's living off of his 1960s idea.
Okay.
And he's with a former Scream model that was a ticket agent at the Viper Room.
Okay.
Who was about 48 and looked a little 58. And he has her in his foyer and he's like going, and I'm the greatest. He goes, and what was your name again? And then the gun went off because it was an accident.
It is.
That she ever went over to his house. But I mean, that's the thing is I think what happens is it's just like with all the sports guys. They don't get in trouble when they're at the height of their talent.
Right.
Daryl Strawberry was throwing great right until he wasn't. That's the thing. Talent doesn't make it crazy.
Sign him.
I think it's egocentric. It's like with the college kids where they tell them, "Oh, you're great, you're God, you're God." How about the union thing now with kids? They're like, "Hey, we can unionize."
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
When I played baseball at Tech, I was in the position where even though we were on the scholarship, you didn't have enough money to live on. But there was always, if you played well, there was always a guy with a cowboy hat that would throw you a couple hundo, and that's what was going on. And if that was going on for baseball, you can guarantee it was going on for everything else.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Well,
more cowboy hats than football.
That's right.
What's the newest thing? The NBA said they would they would give college basketball players money to like cover the rest that their scholarship doesn't cover.
Right.
Now, so they're not paying them, but saying we will cover everything else.
Right. And
Because
then
they don't want their free farm to go away.
No, but the thing is, they also said then, because now they're saying, well, we want TV rights too. We want all of it. And they go, well, guess what? Why don't they make them a separate entity? Don't say you're going to college, because it's a lie. When I went to Indiana, I was writing papers for the Bobby Knight's kids, and I was writing papers for them because they were too dumb to read or write. They were going into the actual stacks where the old newspapers were from the 1700s and 1800s, and the stacks. They took an X-Acto knife and cut the articles out because they couldn't figure out how to work a copying machine. Now, some of these kids are millionaires now. But the point was, I was writing their papers for them.
Sure.
And Bobby Knight's great, right? Until the point where he doesn't really ask any questions. And I was making good money for what I was doing.
Nice.
And they were making great money for what they were doing.
What was your degree in?
Huh? Journalism.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. Better to write the paper than deliver it.
I agree. As a guy with a BA in philosophy, then it's absolutely worked out the way it was supposed to.
Absolutely. That's why all your stuff's in one backpack, isn't it?
That is it. And I sit around and I bullshit for free.
Yeah. You ever wonder what it'd be like if I got a math degree?
I also got a journalism degree, but I feel like I could have just skipped it and lied and said I had one, and it would have worked out the same for me. Because nobody ever has followed up.
Right. Who's going to fact check? I think they're hiring.
Well, the thing was, is when I graduated, they wanted all this money extra that they threw in the end. Mm-hmm. And my wife was in graduate school at the time, so she still had another year left in that. And I was living in graduate housing. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm working 3 jobs, and I get this fucking thing finally done. And now you're going, oh no, we need extra money. It wasn't extra classes. Extra money. And I go, where'd this? And they go, well, the way it worked when you transferred your classes, some of them they count, but you have to pay for them at IU as if I took them there. And I go, but I already took them, I already paid for them there. And they go, yeah, but they were like at Broward Community College and Iowa State and Madison, Wisconsin. And they go, well, you gave them the money, you didn't give us the money. So in order for those to count, you just need to give us the money. You don't have to retake the class.
Right.
Thinking I'm going to jump on this. And of course I was a dick. And I now you got a journalism degree. What, where, why? I go, this doesn't make any sense at all. So I said, fuck you. And they go, fuck you then. We won't give you a degree. I go, fuck you. I got one. And they go, yeah, well, we won't mail it to you. I go, I'll just print one on the internet.
That's right.
Mr. Becker, it looks like you accidentally learned more than we charged you for.
Yes.
So we're going to have to send you an extra bill.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I was like, what? I don't get it. And then later I found out, that was the thing. It was just a shit job, and it was a shit thing.
So how many colleges did you go to?
5.
Nice.
Yeah. You want to always try all of them. It's like a beer sampling.
That's exactly what it was.
But I graduated from the one I was paying for.
That's
when other people were paying. Missed a few classes.
I was 4 schools, 5.5 years, 1 useless degree, and no debt, no student loan debt.
No, and that was the thing. I grew up right at the time when it was grants. You could get grants,
right?
And most of the kids now think that's just $100 bill. But oh no, that's Franklin. That's a Franklin. Yeah, grant was 50. Yeah, things were cheaper then.
No,
but
why would they?
Yeah, they're going like the penny. But no, and so the thing was, is they got all done with it, and I was like, okay, I get it. But it's I think if you don't get a job in your field, you should not have to pay back your student loan.
Well, if you guys ever want to know what it feels like to pay back student loans, you can just chip in on mine. That's cool.
How much is yours? We should go Kickstarter.
Let's
do Kickstarter. No one's done this yet.
I think I'm just under 40 grand right now. So
really?
40 grand?
Yeah. To go to UAA. I've made some bad choices, guys. I signed a lot of things. Here's the thing. So I took out way too much money when I was like 19 years old. Back before I even decided on what my signature would look like, they were just like, yeah, you need 20 grand? Sign this.
Yeah.
And so they gave it to me, which I think is a crime. I didn't know how to write a check, and they were giving me way more money than I will be able to pay off.
That's a kind of me. And I just heard you on the radio panhandling for money for the NPR.
That's what I do.
No, but in the future, give out your home number when you're on the radio. Yeah.
And if you guys want to make donations here, use this account number.
We can make up some tote bags. No, that's amazing.
So why isn't there a way to just? There's got to be this.
There's no default.
Yeah, but there's got to be a way on a system based on scamming the students, and there's got to be the reverse scam that gets the smarter student out of everybody else's problem.
Well, I've tried one method, and that was just to ignore it.
Okay.
No, that doesn't work because you know what? The problem is like the IRS, the juice is running now on you.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're leg breakers.
And they decided, hey, we're just going to take this out of your paycheck. So I called and was like, is there anything I can do? Oh, no, we got it covered. We're just going to take it out of your paycheck now, so you're cool. And I was like, oh, okay, well, Problem solved.
Really?
Yep.
And so now, oh, geez.
So how much you paying on child support?
None yet.
No.
Until that kid can identify me, we're good.
Yeah.
We're good.
No, so how much they take out? Just the idea, ballpark, percentage-wise.
It's about 25% of my paycheck every 2 weeks.
Cool.
What?
Before taxes, which is the unfair
Yeah,
part.
that is bullshit too. Yeah.
So it's a big chunk.
So how long after you're dead does this get paid off?
Well, it depends on how the next couple weeks go in my life.
Okay.
So I don't know. I suppose it's manageable. I could be living a lot better if
I heard that there was a program where if you can go to them and say, and just do something altruistic. You're like, I'll never pay this money back, but if I do something nice for someone else and I show you that I've used my degree to do this nice thing, then Obama shows up over the poker table and he wipes his hands and everyone walks away. Isn't that a real thing?
I don't.
Did I just make that up?
No, I think you made it up because I'll tell you they're not doing that. And do you see where the IRS is going after people's debt? Well, I mean, it's a group of people. They're understanding it's like 400,000 people. No, but there's a backstory to the whole thing. But there's 400,000 people the IRS is targeting their kids and stuff because they overpaid them. And now I don't know if this is some slave reparation scam, something, but they won't give the story on why. But they're going after the kids too. They're taking their refunds and they're going, you benefited from with no proof. I know you go, not in America. They can't do that, but yeah, they can. Yeah, they can. I'd be spilling hot coffee in my lap real quick if I were you.
Well, now that I have the IRS backed Obamacare, I could do that. You could drop that hot coffee right on there.
I know, and you know what? You're probably covered in coffee.
Well, at the money and the rate that I'm paying, that's about all that all it needs to be covered.
I see. Yeah, we opted out. We said that it wasn't. There was a little line that they added in that said if it's not cost effective in your area, and it's a hardship on you, then you can take 2 years off and wait and see if the market levels out.
Nice.
And so we took that option.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, nothing
so we are
is
exempt.
cost effective here ever. So
because we were going to be Christian Scientists, I told my wife, I go, huh?
Nice.
We're praying,
pray away. Isn't that you can? I believe it is it is absolutely possible to just heal yourself using good ideas.
Oh, I think it's cheaper.
if you force yourself to smile,
right,
you will cure your own depression.
No, that is no. It's easy because now you're forcing yourself to smile. That's not how that works.
Just the act of smiling makes you feel better.
The act of being any anxiety you would have in your body is ultimately released in your enjoyment of what's going on.
I think
it stops your anxiety, which creates disease.
You know the trick I actually use because I'm a very high-strung person. I'll admit it. Where'd my beer go? But the thing is what I use is I always tell people, I go, just relax and realize that there's a guy sitting on death row right now who didn't do it for the last 18 years. And he's got to be fucking, and he's still alive. He's doing great. But he's going, fuck, this is unbelievable. I didn't do this crime. I'm sitting in jail. They keep going, we're still working on your appeal. You go, great. I'm still trying to dodge the shower. But the thing is, your life isn't that bad.
Right.
I mean, I've watched people, you ever see those kids, like the Siamese twins? They get those two kids, they're attached at the waist.
Right.
I love the headline on that. Like, boys attached at the waist, still loving life, is what one of them said. And it was them, like, showering from, like, a hydrant or something. Like, I feel like life is only slightly harder for them that they're attached. Otherwise, it'd be pretty bad all around.
Life is a hydrant.
I'm just like, I mean, it's hard to even high-five these kids, but they're happy. They're happy. They're doing the crab walk. They love it. But the thing is
when they play soccer, do you call hands on them? I don't know.
No, and the weird thing was, and I've always argued this every time, because here's the deal. So, like healthcare in America,
right?
Every time you read about Siamese twins in India, where they probably got it from some chemical factory,
of course,
using lubricant from the chemical factory, bad idea.
Enjoy Coke,
but so they have them. They bring them to the United States. They separate them for free, and then they send them back. And I go, wait a minute, I can't get my mole checked, but you're separating people for free? They're not even from here. My only argument is they're from India, which is best known for call centers. Yes. And I go, stay together. I'm telling you on this. You tell me somebody's going to buy up these kids if they stay together on this. And you go, hey, call, our help center. 2 heads are better than one. And I mean, these kids are a marketing genius. The new double whopper. I'm hiring them. Yeah, they're freaky to look at, but it makes our burger look bigger. I'm just telling you.
That's cheap because if they're attached, you pay them one salary. That's not 2 salaries.
Oh. Yeah.
And that's how you that's how you get your Dell fixed for cheap.
There's only one wallet or purse.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
How many condoms did you buy for prom, guys? Yeah.
Now, that's a question. How many Social Security numbers are involved in that one? Is
No,
it just
again,
the
they're
one?
2 people.
Okay, so it is 2 people.
Yeah.
All right.
How many ball caps you got to buy? Remember the old joke? It comes down to heads.
Right.
You got 4 legs, you're a freak. You got 2 heads, you're Siamese.
That's why I can't have kids. You realize, like, every bad thing you've done from a karmic standpoint, what's coming your way if you ever have a kid?
Oh yeah.
Like,
Oh, I mean, that's the thing. If you go, well, you know, he can count toothpicks like a motherfucker. There just is a big demand.
Sorry about the toothpicks.
82, 82, 82.
It's a lot more than 82 toothpicks, right?
What? 246 total.
The change. How many toothpicks are in there?
250.
Pretty close. Come on, let's go, Ray.
246.
There's 4 left in the box.
what is the future of pot in this state?
It's on the ballot in the fall to legalize recreationally.
Okay, and I know reading the tea leaves, is that going to happen?
It's hard. It's kind of hard to say. There's plenty of people for it, but then I think there's also lots of people who don't want to pay to set up, like, you know, how to regulate it and all that kind of stuff. And I think that's kind of the
they're pushing it now, going, it could cost us millions in regulations. I go, really? Like liquor does.
Yeah.
All right, you're an idiot. But here's the deal: is we used to have it legal.
Oh,
We were the original state that had it legal. And in the 70s, they took away the right to have it legal because you could have up to an ounce and grow up to, what was it, 10
two or three plants in your home?
Yeah, so everybody had them. And it was no big deal. And then the feds came in and said, you can't do that. So they took it away.
yeah.
Then we kind of brought it back. Now we have a personal use. I mean, you can have it. You can't buy it and you can't sell it.
Sure.
You
They can
just have
suddenly
it.
appear in your house. Yeah.
It's kind of amazing.
Yeah.
So
If it suddenly appears in your house, we're not allowed to look inside and see what's going on.
Yeah, so there's a really weird... The laws are already really weird, and now... And they've been pushing for medical marijuana for years, which for some reason that's never passed here.
Okay.
And now they're just skipping that, I guess, to try to legalize recreationally, like all the other states. But I feel like... I don't know. I feel like if I were a drug dealer, I wouldn't want it legalized, because I don't want to buy a spot in a strip mall.
What?
So,
You wouldn't?
Nah.
Come on.
Nah.
But there's always going to be the underculture of how to go and do business, even when stuff becomes legal, because people just don't want to have their names on things.
What no one realizes is that they're going to do exactly what Colorado's the first one where they're jumping in, then Washington State. Of course, Montana's got legal medical marijuana. And they're now cracking down. They're like, oh, we need a bigger umbrella on this thing. And they're going to make it. It's going to be McDonald's. You're going to have corporations running the marijuana.
Right.
They're not going to let you grow it.
Sure.
This is a window of time where you can go, we're beating it, dude. And you go, yeah, you're about to. This is when the Grateful Dead died. Do you remember all the people who killed themselves?
That's right, yeah.
Because they go, we're just following the Grateful Dead. And they went, okay, now you got to get a job. And they're like, I don't want a job. And then, boom.
That was my
kill me.
job. I showed up to the show.
So that's what they're going to do, but it's going to be taken away. And the other thing is, how do you regulate driving? If I can give you a DUI for any amount in you, how do you regulate it? You have a trace.
Right.
You have a trace of THC. And I go, well, you were impaired. You killed a kid. And every jury will convict you because you're impaired.
So,
really?
But there's a ton of like e-cigarette vapor shops opening up around town that are all, you know,
they're all jockeying in place for
they just are trying to have a spot ready for, if it does get legalized, they can just start becoming dispensaries.
No, but they're not going to let that happen.
No.
I guarantee it'll be state run.
Yeah,
they'll do it like the state liquor stores.
Now, when it finally hits that corporate level, are we going to talk about McDonald's strain is going to have a certain chemical in it that absolutely drives you to consume their food?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
No, I mean, it will come with McDonald's.
It just comes with
but won't it be like anything? If you take the time to buy organically and spend the money, you're going to have the experience you're supposed to have. Sort of the dollar menu weed is going to fuck you up.
Sure, but
I think they regulate levels of anything. Look at alcohol.
Yeah. Right.
You know,
where it's like salvia. If you go to if I can go to a convenience store and spend $8 on something that has a 10% chance of teaching me something, or 90% chance I'm dying going out of a window.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's like the trucker speed of a good time.
Sure.
Right.
Bath salts are still legal.
But now I don't believe in bath salts. I don't think.
No, but you have to admit, it was amazing. that they put it on the market. It was there. It was in every store. We had it here in Alaska. I mean, you had it at every store. It was at everything, and everybody knew about it. And I didn't know, but I saw it forever, sitting there going, "What?" And it said, "Not for eating bath salts." I go, "What?" I would have bought them. Becky would have thrown them in the tub. I would have. She was in that tub for. She was in that tub for 6 hours. Yeah, but yeah, it was just weird. And all of a sudden, they went, "Oh, people are doing it." I'm like, "What?" And it did. It was 2 steps off of meth and cocaine. It was like in between.
Right.
And they go, "No, we synthetically made it, and it's not illegal." And they go, "We got to make it illegal." And that's our generation of acid and everything. Acid was legal.
Sure.
They just didn't know what to do with it. They were like, "We got to make this illegal." It took them 2 years to make it illegal.
Really?
Yeah. By then, they figured out that everybody was fucked up.
Because weren't they? But because they wanted it to be legal because it was going to be a great idea for you. Said it was going to be a battle drug.
Well, remember, Freud thought cocaine was going to be a big cure-all. He was opening shops right when they outlawed it in the United States. He was over here opening them. That's what Freud was over here doing. And they went, "You can't be giving people cocaine." And his whole market fell apart.
See, I think the country would have been better off. A country run on that instead of running on Starbucks is going to be... Come on.
I thought the whole mother thing was a little stretch. But yeah. But I did agree with this cocaine idea. Hey, Oedipus.
Right.
Give me that straw. But yeah, and that's we're evolving culture, and it's so funny because you should ban all saturated fats.
Sure.
You know, kind of like New York, where everybody's going, "I can't believe they're trying to tell people you can't drink a gallon of Big Gulp and have fried chicken dipping in it." And you go, "Well, when we nationalized healthcare, that was kind of the idea." Was they go, "Well, strobe lights should be available everywhere."
Right.
Just to weed out the people with any diseases or injury. I mean, if you're a bleeder, stick them with a pin. Yeah. I mean, the thing is you got to go, you can't afford to pay for everybody. How are you going to pay for a truck driver? We have the largest generation of people going to retire coming up here.
Sure.
The baby boomers. And we have nothing to replace it with. And we have low paying jobs to follow up to pay for it all. But at the same time, a cab driver who put in maybe $70,000 in his lifetime career in Social Security now plans on drawing on it for another 30 years. Who's going to pay for it? Now, when he has a tumor or can get lung replacement, because he used to smoke in his cab, that's what you could do. And as long as the window was down.
Right.
And are you going to put that much money into a cab driver, get new lungs so he can sit for another 15 years?
Yeah.
No, that's where the death panel came in. That's what the real idea was. They go, "You can't give this. He's got $40,000 in debt.
Right.
This kid's got a bad liver. If you don't have the money for it, you got to go."
But you don't know what I could accomplish.
Yeah,
You didn't even handle your finances correctly.
But that can't be the barometer of success, a bottom line barometer.
Well, what do you think? We're kumbaya. We're going to keep everybody alive with their backpacks?
Why not?
Because we can't afford it. You have to be productive.
Well, yeah, but
You can only have so many. This is the joke about the baby boomer. You can only have so many Walmart greeters. So who do you want? Apparently foreign speakers. Last time I went to Walmart. But the point is, you're going to have. There's going to be a litmus test. We're going to have to decide.
Right.
Just like with prison. They go, there's people that have killed multiple people. They plea bargain to life in prison.
Sure.
Great. But now they're living to be 80 and 90. And they said the convalescent care in prison is so much higher than on the outside. So they're talking about releasing the 7-time murderer because it's cheaper to put him in a nursing home, in a state-run nursing home, than keep him in prison in a nursing home.
Wow.
And he's not a harm to anybody. Well, I don't know. Wait till you find out how bad witnesses are when they have Alzheimer's. It worked once. This is your future. It's going to be a bloodbath, is what I'm telling you. And I don't know if you know this, but the 20 to 30-year-olds are going to start getting kind of like what Europe's going to happen and like Ireland. You put all the burden on young kids, and they're making no money. They have no future.
Yeah.
Once they hit that point, Nicaragua is 61% kids under 23.
Really?
You want to see a war? Go to Nicaragua.
Really?
Yeah. Do you think they're going to pay for everybody?
Absolutely not.
Nope.
But don't you think that isn't what we're doing with our culture and our food and our education? We're just keeping people stupid to the point where they don't even know that they should be mad about.
Well,
this?
here's the problem with stupid. Do you remember the 1960s?
No, I was before my time.
Well, anyway, the point is, you can read, right? Okay, yeah. You know the Bible? Okay,
I do.
Yeah. Well, I guess
It's in
you
my
can
pocket.
read. You can read. Okay. Okay. Wouldn't fit in your backpack? Okay. But
Traveling light today.
But the point is that there's going to be a time when they're going to wake up. They're going to go, I don't want to do this anymore. It's the fast food thing. Kids spitting in burgers.
Right.
Did you know? Yeah, that's kids spitting burgers because I work in fast food. I fucking hate this job. You think I wanted this job? I had to get this job.
Right.
And now they're spitting in burgers. They go, well, I don't want to eat there. Well, fine. Then they close. Now that kid doesn't have that job. I had a kid one time tell me, he goes, I don't care. I can do anything I want at the fast food place in town here.
Yeah.
He goes, I can do whatever I want. He goes, they fire me. I'll just go down the street, get a job Subway or anywhere. They all need people because nobody stays there more than fucking 6-7 months.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going, so you could horrifically get fired. And he goes, they'll still hire me. You think they're calling up Burger King to find out if I was a good employee?
Right.
He goes, I'm available. Perfect. Make that guy a sandwich. I ain't doing it. I own this thing.
Well, Subway, they're artists, so they're not calling anybody.
No.
It takes a creative disposition.
So are we going to live a life where we actually see revolution?
No, I think we are. I mean, I don't know if you know this, but we have a lot of guns in the street.
Yeah.
It turns out teenage kid, every time he kicks in a gun nut who's 50, who's actually at work, kicks in his house, he gets 30 new guns. Girl, I can't believe I had cameras. Well, it turns out cameras show us who took them, but it didn't stop them.
Right.
Well, I have a gun safe. Yeah, but you didn't put any guns in it. Well, you got to have them ready. You weren't home. That's my point.
Then that's the point.
Yeah. But they'll film themselves doing it. This is the beauty.
Okay.
Is you're going to have a lot of point of view violence.
Sure. So the revolution is just going to be just enunciated with.
They'll Yelp it.
They're going to be yelping.
They're going to Yelp the revolution.
It's Ustream.
Yeah. I thought San Francisco's really lame. I'm going to go riot in Chicago. I went to the Chicago riot last year, and it sucked. Well, I say we do Minneapolis. Nobody goes to Detroit.
That's no, God no. Oh, you want to win this?
That's it. You don't steal a stolen car. First rule of the street.
Yeah, especially when people are living in it. I partied on top of a train station, the blown out train station inside of Detroit on Devil's Night, and watched the cars be lit on fire, and the people that we were with going.
That's why they make them there.
They go look at it. My buddy, remember we were looking down, and my buddy looking around, and he goes, it's kind of light this year.
Yeah, is that bad? My God, some of our best performers aren't here. That's great.
I don't know. I guess. I guess you just have to be ready for it all to go down.
No, and the thing is that's the thing is you go, well, I assume we go to somewhere else and we do.
But I feel like Alaska is the 100% most safe place in the world.
It is, unless we're
if you don't count the weather or the animals.
Or the melting pot factor. We have one of our. We're Noah's Ark. I said there was a reason I stayed up here. I went. You know what? Say what you want about the end of the world, but we have the most diverse city.
Yeah.
Anywhere we really do in the world.
Anchorage.
We beat Dubai. We beat everybody.
Really?
Yeah.
The school district here over 100 different languages are spoken in the Anchorage school
district. Does this not start sounding like Noah's Ark of a city?
Absolutely.
Where if the whole world was destroyed, we could rebuild with every nationality here.
Right. And you're already making it work.
Well, I don't know if it's working great, but some
we have
people,
a lot of different kinds of restaurants, but they're all owned by Koreans, which is weird.
Well,
yeah.
I went to them all. I had pho 4 times.
Yeah,
and I will say it that way. I don't give a shit.
No, I know. That's what I say too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The African. I'm doing the.
It's
African.
a gyro.
It's whatever I
mean
point
gyros.
out.
Yeah. See. Yeah, that's what's at the fair.
Now you're being insensitive. What did they teach you with that $40,000 journalism degree?
Oh man, this arc is starting to tip.
They taught you to only pay it forward.
They say don't pay attention to the way Greeks say things.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Of course. That was
like I'll get you back.
All right, well, I guess we should wrap this up so Chaille doesn't have to.
Yeah.
Edit. We just keep it going all day.
Is that right? Yeah. Well, then hi to Greg Chaille while you're editing this.
Yeah.
Hope your teeth don't hurt.
Yeah, that's right. He got some of that Florida dental work done.
Oh, really?
Root canal on the road. He's just, he's just stopping in different cities and visiting different dentists and catching them up on what the last guy did.
My dentist YouTubed me and then had asked me about individual bits I did while he worked on me with my mouth full of shit.
Wow. That's actually, it's flattering to a point.
A little bit, yeah.
And then I Googled him and found out, hey, what about that lawsuit? I thought it was weird you were available on a Friday afternoon.
Woke up, my underwear's on backwards. I don't know what that's about.
Jeez, I didn't even bring any.
Yeah, I woke up with underwear.
I have room in the backpack for underwear. Well, thank you for having me out.
Thank you. Thanks for coming out.
Yeah, thanks, John. And thanks. And we'll be planning it again.
Absolutely.
This will be good.
If you have a time machine, you can still catch John Tole at Koot Charlie's
You
tonight.
can.
Yep.
Or I'm sure I'll be back.
Yep.
Where are you going next?
I go to California for a week, and then I go to the Mall of the Americas.
Ooh.
In,
Where in California?
Northern California, in Pleasanton.
Oh, okay.
East Bay.
We're going to LA for Easter.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
We hear good things.
Yeah. It's nice this time of year.
So if you have a Union Pacific Railroad that comes through your town, I'm sure John Tole will be hopping off that train.
I will.
And getting there soon. So check that out.
Yep. And send your complaints to his. Do you have an address? Oh, that's right. Yeah. Just keep them to yourself,
It's
people.
the La Quinta Inn in San Jose, California.
His email gets sent back.
All you need is johntole.com. That's it.
That's perfect.
Listen to my podcast, Carpath Diem.
All right.
Ooh, nice.
I'm John Norris.
I'm Matt Becker.
John Tole.
This is Near the Wild, everybody. Goodbye.
You've been listening to the Near the Wild podcast with Matt Becker and John Norris, recorded in Anchorage, Alaska on Matt Becker's Backyard Bus. Engineered by me, Greg Chaille.